Good afternoon. Welcome to the shoot. We're here today with our cattle and our new cow dog pup. Our new cow dog pup's job is to, one of these days, get old enough, mature enough, and knowledgeable enough to work cattle with us. So it'll take some training, but hopefully in 6 to 8 months, we'll have her good and going. Today we're here to talk about horn flies and horn fly control. Today we're running these cattle down the chute and applying a product called Silence. It's a Bayer product made by Bayer Animal Health. We're using it to put on these the cows. It's a topical. We put it on their back. And what we're going to do, we put out the right amount of dosage on it. The horn flies will eat the blood. The blood that has the silence in it will actually end up killing the fly. The economic threshold of flies is 200 horn flies per cow. Horn flies are going to eat somewhere between 30 to 40 blood meals per day. So let's just take the high side of that. 40 blood meals times 200 horn flies is 8,000 blood meals per day. That's a lot of blood getting pulled out of this cow. So you can tell really easily going into the summer how your cattle can become anemic because we're not out here combating these flies good enough. And that's another reason why your manure program has to be really top notch. So it can replace what the horn flies have pulled out for blood. So we're here today to put this silence on these cows. So take a look as we do this. This is a topical solution. So we're going to put some here on the top of them like so.
Does it hurt the cows?
No, it doesn't hurt the cows. They just don't like being squirted with a liquid. That's really all it is. They just don't like the liquid.
Now, why are the flies gathering at the back of the cow? Why not on their bottoms or on their face?
You got to realize that about the only part of the body that the cow can't get to with her tail or her head is right in the center of that back. Stable flies are going to be on their feet. Now, at the moment, we don't have a big stable fly population yet. We don't see too many. I think that's one right there on its way up. I think that's one. But if you'll look right back up here with that camera. You see how these flies right here are looking down? That's a telltale sign of a horn fly. They're always looking down, and those wings are really wide. They actually have 4 wings, but 2 of them are really small, and 2 of them are really large. So you really only see the big wings. Do you have any other questions?
I do. So, are there other types of fly control?
Yes, actually, we have adulticide, which is what we just put out here, and that kills the adults. There's a larvicide, that kills larvae. The question is, where is the larva? Where does the larva grow? When we talk about horn flies, the horn fly leaves the cow, goes down to the manure, lays her eggs in the manure, and goes back to the cow. The eggs hatch in the manure and become larvae. So with the larvicide in the manure, how do we get it through the manure? We have to feed an IGR, an insect growth regulator, through the cow, and then it goes into the manure and lays the manure. And then as it lays in the manure, when your horn fly larva starts eating through it, then it kills the larva. So the next question is what about dung beetles? Well, Bayer Animal Health is understanding that, and these other companies understand that. So the IGRs that we're going to feed through don't affect dung beetles, nor their eggs or what they have going on as far as dung beetles.
Why are dung beetles important?
Dung beetles take manure that's laid in the manure pile, they bury a tunnel in the ground, and they lay their eggs on the ball of manure that they've rolled underground. So what the dung beetles are doing is they're taking organic matter and burying it somewhere between 2 to 8 inches deep, 12 inches deep, depending on the dung beetle species. The bigger the dung beetle, the deeper they bury it.
So how is that beneficial to our soil?
Well, the more organic matter you have, the better your water holding retention is, which we talked about previously in a video where we were talking about soil samples.
Okay. So when you said that we feed IGRs, insect
Yes,
growth regulators, is that correct term?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you mean we're feeding it to our cows? How
There's
is it?
2 ways we feed IGR. We feed it either in a solid lick tub where the cows lick it every day, in like a protein sub, or we feed it in our mineral. It's mixed in our mineral. So when the cows get their mineral as a free choice mineral, they pick up the IGR that's mixed in with it, and that's how it gets into the manure pile.
So when they eat the IGR, it doesn't hurt them at all.
Nope, doesn't hurt them at all. It's a fed through, direct fed through, goes right into that manure pile.
All right.
If you have any questions, give me a holler. And remember, beef, it's what's for dinner.